So I got a few tattoos. I started getting in my freshman year of college, so like 3 years ago, and I have grandparents that are like heavily Catholic, and so I didn't tell them about it when I got it. My first one, it's on my shoulder, and I was like, it's not a big deal because you can't see it, it's not visible, and it was for me. And so I was like, I can hide it if I want to, I can put it out if I want to. And so one day I went over to their house, and I was wearing a tank top, and I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot they don't know. And so my granddad, he was like, what is that? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, like what is that? And he was like pointing, and he like came over and like did it, and I was like, yeah. So I was like laughing. I was like, yeah, I got a tattoo, and like my parents knew about it. And so my grandparents started like going off, and they were like, oh my god, like you're just like unraveling. And I had a purity ring for a while, and my intention was to wait until marriage, and then something happened, which is a whole different kind of story. And so I wasn't wearing that, and my granddad noticed, and it was my decision. And so he was like, you're already unraveling, like you're not wearing your ring anymore, and like now you got a tattoo. And he was like, you're on a fast track to like going to hell. And just like, I know, it was insane. And so like we get in this huge argument, and so my dad jumps in because he's like super hard-headed, and he loves to just like put his little 2 cents in. So he like jumps in, and he's like, oh well, he's like, I told her not to do it, but it's her body, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So they're like yelling at me, and so my grandma's like, I'm not ever getting you any presents again, like we're not ever going out to eat, like you better cover it up. So so it's not so much that we bring it up all the time, but just like I know now whenever they're coming to visit or whenever I go home, like to have it covered up, because they will literally like just give me this disgusted look every time they see it. And they're always asking me like, oh, did you get a new one? And like, oh, blah blah blah, and like all these questions. And so I just keep them to myself.